Hey, thanks, Mukesh. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible and I'm audible.
Yes.
I'm just putting this down and ensure that.
While I'm just reading, thanks Ajay, thanks Mandar, thanks Hakimuddin, thanks Murali. Would be great if everyone can do that. Thanks Subramanian. While we wait on the chat, Sri, I think Sri is no stranger to everyone. Today he will walk us through one of the presentation in terms of how can SAP help when it comes to treasury and working capital management. He will be joined by Gnanashekaran Rangan from SAP Labs, and Sri is also going to be in fact the special interest group lead for the finance special interest group. So you will see him a lot more off. And yeah, with that, over to you, Sri. You can take it away, please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think my screen is visible. Let me start it. I think with due respect to the people who have joined earlier, and I'm sure as we have another 45 minutes to go for the session, people may join in between. Anyway, thanks Mukesh for having this session recorded so that people have got access to the recording and they could view at their leisure. Okay, so just before I get into the topic, I just wanted to share a couple of information that since this INDUS, typically the INDUS SAP user group, in the INDUS SAP user group, we have a special chapter for finance, exclusively focusing on finance topics. There's a WhatsApp group that has been created by the team also. Please feel free to join the WhatsApp group. Mukesh would be happy to share a QR code or the link after the session to where you could able to use the link, join the WhatsApp group also. Okay, so the main fundamental for this user group is to make people, the end users of the SAP Finance Solutions, to make them more aware of the solutions which they are using it, or if they're not aware of some solutions, how SAP and partners can able to reach out to the end user team and make them aware of it. Okay, that's the first purpose. Second is as a user of SAP, you may have a lot of queries in terms of processes, in terms of solutioning. Please feel free to use the platform to ask the queries, and we'll be happy to share our knowledge on certain topics. Okay, similar to this finance institute, we have other chapters in terms of security, in terms of S4HANA, in terms of public cloud, etc. I'm sure you would be also getting mails to join this group. Okay, saying so, this year from the finance user group community, we have 12 sessions planned, monthly cycle. I'm sure as part of the registration process, you would have received a calendar invite for the next 10 sessions. The topics would be released a month in advance so that you could percolate this into the internal officers, internal team members, and encourage them to join the sessions. Okay. Coming to the topic, this month, today for this today's session, I will be running through the topic on S4 treasury management and working capital management with the core focus on the cash conversion. And I'm sure inflation being the hottest topic in every CFO's talk. Okay, irrespective of the type of organization, irrespective of the size of the organization, inflation and cash management is the top of the question mark. Today, I'm also joined with Gnanashekaran Rangan. People call him Gnana, one of the experts in the S4 finance. He works for SAP Labs in Bangalore. Myself and Gnana are based out of Bangalore. we'd be glad to share our knowledge through this information sessions. And so today we have split the session into two types. One is 1 minute, sorry. Yeah. Two things. What is the impact? What is the importance of working capital in terms of this economic situation? Second, what is that SAP provides them as a solution? And third is what can be done. Okay, so this would be the agenda for today, and there'll be a mix of both PowerPoint presentation and the demo. Okay, so please feel free to use the chat window to post the questions. We would record the questions. If you have time today, definitely we will answer back as part of this presentation itself, or else we would revert back as individuals. Okay. So getting to the topic, I'm sure I'm sure this audience is more familiar in terms of Treasury because this is a mix of both partner community and and also customers. The platform is very uniquely shaped to bring in both the partners, because partners also have to get enabled on what is that SAP's mantra for Treasury, plus also what is that they could able to carry back for their conversations with end customers. Okay. Saying so, if you look at the right hand side of the presentation, the core aspect of any of the CFOs today, pain is on this D's. Okay, day inventory outstanding, daily payable outstanding, and daily sales outstanding. So this typically has got a huge impact on both bottom line and top line of any of the organizations. Okay, and how SAP as a solution provider, as a platform centric solution provider, is able to help the CFO organizations in managing the requirements to meet the KPIs of these 3Ds. Okay, so before we get into this, one of the real aspects from the different audience that we have presented is typically there are a lot of aspirations from a CFO, right? Not just a CFO's office per se. Okay, they contribute a lot of activities to make the business sustainable, make the business running as usual, and to meet the stakeholders' requirement. Okay, why this slide is very important from the perspective of how they could able to make up their career in finance. Okay, this is not probably may feel that a treasury topic, but as a leadership topic, as a finance leaders, you could go through this link as a podcast where we clearly articulate how the CFO's organization can able to grow up the ladder to even to become CEOs. There are live examples where the CFO office has become the CEO also. Okay, so what is the real outcome of such a survey done on the CFO communities? As we spoke about the DIO, DSO, and DPO, okay, which forms the crucial aspect of the finance office. Okay, the main aspect is how they collaborate with three main teams. Okay, one is the production team, one is the sales team, one is the customer service team, so that how they could able to bring this KPI into formal shape, on how solutions which is implemented for the finance office has an impact on other collaboration officers. It could be marketing, the sales, it could be customer service. The sample survey which we did is the more they collaborate on the finance software implementation similar to the treasury, they could there is a positive impact on all the Ds. Okay. So coming to the hot topic of the working capital.
Sri, if I may, there is a request on the chat. The podcast link, whenever you can, not now, but whenever you can, please post the link on the chat.
Yes, sure, definitely. In fact, this presentation would be shared after the session, so you could reuse this for your internal meetings or to, for your knowledge session within your organization as well. Okay. So, can I move on?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Oh. Thanks, Nikesh. So when we speak about the treasury and working capital, I'm going to touch certain basics so that since there is a mix of both IT team and there's a mix of finance team, I'm just going to touch upon for the next 2-3 minutes on the concepts, working formula. Probably this may be a school book thoughts, but just to give a high-end perspective. For example, if we all very familiar on the working capital formula. Okay, this is nothing but cash minus current liabilities, asset minus liabilities is equal to working capital. So in financial terms, What is cash like assets? Asset is equal to cash is equal to ready to sell inventory and the expected receivables. What are liabilities? Nothing but short-term borrowings, accrued liabilities, which is nothing but what is due for payroll, and payables, which can be turned into cash, which equals to working capital. Why this is such a very important topic for the CFO office? This is a clear indicator of operational efficiency and financial health. There has been a lot of messages which goes in the internet that you would have read by yourself, the EBITDA versus EBIT, which actually showcases the health of the organization. But even before we speak about EBITDA and all, let's look at this is the first primary indicator for working capital is the indicator. Okay. So when it comes to real software alignment towards this, how a KPI could be assigned to this one? The KPI is assigned to increase profitability, improve the liquidity, and how I could able to reduce debt, how I could able to improve the credit rating, which is very critical for short-term borrowings. Okay, and how I can able to finance the projects which is which is part of your R&D, which is part of your capex investment. It could be IT, it could be asset procurement. So all those typically helps you in managing the CCC. Okay, you may ask what is CCC? CCC stands for cash conversion cycle. Okay, even this is a typical subject. Okay, I've not touched about SAP as of now. I am still talking the subject matter here. So what is real cash conversion cycle? The CCC is nothing but your work DSO plus DIO minus DPO is equal to CCC. Okay. And this is a very informative slide. If you ask a finance guy, accounts payable or accounts civil guy, his main data is to collect this and report to the stakeholders so that his efficiency is tracked and reported. So we spoke about working capital, okay, and we spoke about indicator. And when we implement solutions on topics of supply chain or in terms of treasury or working capital, there is always a current state versus future state. So ideally, it all is in the number of days. If the number of days is reduced for this, automatically your efficiency has gone up. Okay. So this is the fundamentals of which we are going to run through the entire cycle of today's presentation. Okay, so as we speak, in the last 4-5 years, this is very known about where each and every organization stands. It could be different type of businesses. It could be different types of size of business. We all are under pressure. It could be because of inflation, interest rate fluctuations, in terms of margin that we are going to do it on our products or services. And obviously, there is a need for innovation, right? You could have very well seen a lot of business innovation which is coming. Now, for example, automotive organizations have become service organizations. Same way, service organizations are trying to become product-centric organizations. And obviously, you could also find out a lot of startups which is trying to disrupt erstwhile businesses. And obviously, there are two major things from a risk management perspective. We are all aware of how the supply chain risk is hampering our day-to-day operation itself. Okay, and how predictive this risk management can be happening in the system. And obviously, least but not the last one, very important, which is very dynamic in today's thing, is on the regulatory changes. What is applicable for last month may not be applicable for this month. And as every organization grows for multi-country reporting requirements, we have country-specific regulations to be followed also. Why this is very important from a perspective of working capital, right? This also is very important from the perspective of how do you manage these things? For example, in a DSO, daily sales outstanding, how I can able to run a report for cash flow versus revenue versus margin report. How I'm able to drive a report on customer demands. Daily payables outstanding. Does the daily payable outstanding meets my cash flow objectives? What is the difference between P&L and balance sheet? Am I adhering to fair market payment terms? Okay. Obviously, in the day inventory outstanding, which is equal to a cash, how am I able to meet my supply and demand variability? Okay, and obviously the supply chain risk also plays an important aspect in the cash to cash cycle. Okay, just a small formula. What we spoke. This is a couple of surveys we done along with the Hackett group. They did a analysis and of most of the SAP customers who are able to run through certain cycles in the previous years. Okay, so even though this data may be 3 or 4 years old, but if you look at the way, it has not yet actually changed the impact. If you look at the cash conversion cycle, how it impacts your gross margin, how it impacts your EBIT margin and your ROCE. This is very, very important from a perspective of when you think about, or when you have projects which is lined up in your treasury. Okay, please feel free to use the formulas or use the standard S4HANA to bring out how implementing the cash cycle, how you can implement the treasury modules for better effective working capital management. Okay, so having heard about the basics, fundamentals of working capital management, and the formula for working capital management and the treasury functions, let us jump into what is SAP provides as a platform. Okay, so what is that we have done from an SAP side is I'm sure you would have all been accustomed to ECC plus also the S4 journey. In S4, there are a lot of multiple releases happening on standard S4 digital core plus also the treasury modules. Okay, what we always envisage team, the end user tools, use this time of implementing or evaluating S4 or evaluating the CFO office projects to go back how you could able to reimagine the business of doing the cash function itself. Okay, where does the cash going on? Where does the cash coming in? Is there any delay in cash position? How I can able to improve my liquidity? How I can improve my borrowings? So you could reimagine the way that you could able to do business on the working capital. Okay, so bringing all those formulas that you learned in the previous as a concept, as an SAP, we are trying to bring the 5 key takeaways. One is how you can able to maintain a single source of truth for all the treasury functions. You may use SAP or you may use some siloed non-SAP systems for foreign exchange management or for working capital management. How you can bring that one? How you can able to hands-on look at the bank statements, how you can able to improve the bank communication, how you can able to improve the communication between multiple stakeholders like SWIFT payments, etc., and how you can able to have that visibility to the boardroom. So having this formula, this three centered approach for a digital boardroom. For example, for DSO, we have the SAP receivables management. For DPO, the payables management, and for daily inventory outstanding, you could able to have the SAP IBP or the supply chain collaboration with the FSCM to have this one single view in S4HANA cash and liquidity management. And provide a single analytical view to the stakeholders. Okay, and this is actually the real outcome of any of your investments on treasury. Okay, so coming to the working capital S4, so the 3 key takeaways that you would able to take from an implementation approaches: what is the analytical layer, what is the transaction systems, and how we can able to have a single layer for control and risk analytics. Okay, and after my presentation, Jnana would take you through a demonstration of the 4 key topics on each and every solution. Okay, so what is
there is a question on the chat from Ravi. He says, can this report be seen for a profit center level or will it be seen for the invoice level of outstanding?
Okay, I'll during the demonstration, we will address this question, Mukesh.
Thanks, please go on.
Yeah. So if you look at the SAP Treasury Management portfolio, the 4 key modules we're going to touch upon is the liquidity, cash and liquidity management, payment and bank communication, debt and risk management, and working capital management. So these 4 big modules is the comprehensive portfolio for the treasury and working capital. So if you look at cash and liquidity management, this is more focused on the key topic that we spoke is the cash. Okay, it acts as a single layer to bring the two major functions, invoice to pay and order to cash processes and transactions, and gives you a single view of the cash availability, liquidity, bank relationship, and how you were able to reconcile between the multiple banks. And also it also in fact a lot of AI and bots which also have been created on the cash management app, which helps in day-to-day operations of the cash functions. And obviously, needless to mention, the power of S4 is on the embedded analytics. You could able to view the position of cash at any given point of time. In fact, I could able to relate to a very good use case. During the audit periods, we are supposed to show the cash flow. We are able to show the day-wise cash position outstanding for your cash. So this one single report has been used multiple times by the external auditors for their audit purposes. Second, only advanced payment management. This is more like a payment monitor function, which is also tightly integrated. Which is also tightly integrated on the S4 platform. Just give me a minute. Sorry. Okay, so as a single platform, again, this was built on the SAP BTP. I'm sure you guys are very well aware of the BTP platform. This payment as a platform acts as a interface or integration between for your payment cycles. Okay, it also has got tight integration with your vendor payment cycles. It can also talk with non-SAP system for payments. And obviously the manual way, our erstwhile Excel in, Excel out manual is also done. From a payables outstanding, this is tightly integrated with the Swift payment mode. This also with EBX and direct bank integration is also possible. Okay, why SAP came out with a single platform is to ensure that as we spoke about the cash management, this acts as a payment engine itself to monitor the three steps. One is the process of payment, controls on payables, and continuous monitoring on the payments. Sorry. Third is on the debt investment risk management. This is actually the core platform for the entire treasury operations. Okay, since this today's audience are mix of both IT and partners, SAP partners plus all the end customers. Just a message to you all is this is available both on private cloud platform, also on public cloud platform. I don't want to get into technical availability of the solutions, but today as a precursor, all the solutions that we spoke is available on cloud. Okay. And if you look at the compliance requirement from this TRM is also met. It complies with the IFRS 9. For Indian context, it's also meeting all the accounting standard requirement. And from a benefit point of view, it manages the end-to-end life cycle of the treasury functions. Okay, this includes integration with multiple trading platforms. It also have got information from the multiple API capability to get to source the market data. It could, for example, integration with Libor platform, integration with Forex platforms. This will help you in managing or hedging functions also. Finally, we have the working capital management. This is a platform. Even though SAP has come out with the core functions of treasury in SAP S4HANA, SAP bought over a platform called Taulia around 1.5 years ago. This Taulia as a platform manages the core functions of payables and receivables. Plus, also one of the key requirements is on this supply financing. Okay, so supply financing, I'm sure very well used terms in automotive companies or in aeronautical industry, where they would fund certain projects from the vendor side to ensure that the project is successful. But there are other meanings also for supply finance, which is taken care by the platform. And one of the key benefits from working capital management is also to find out on the dynamic discounting parts. These are all very, very key capability. And needless to mention, since an SAP bought over, this also tightly integrated with SAP S4. And if you ask us, there are a lot of good case studies. There are a lot of large FMCG and large infrastructure companies which have got which have got onto this platform of Taulia and reaping the benefits for their day-to-day working capital management. Okay, so what could be the key, if you ask me the key takeaway, is nothing but as a treasury functions, if you're an SAP S4 customer, it is always advisable to go ahead with the SAP treasury platform itself. Okay, probably this is more like a marketing slide, but I just want to ignore it. And where do you want to proceed? You could able to discuss with your partners or your existing partners, or also you can reach out to SAP. We would be happy to run through a detailed workshop on treasury functions, on how we could able to chart out the implementation of treasury management at for your office. Saying this, I would like to hand over to Jnana to run through the demonstration of the product. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Srinath. I will share my screen. I'll let you know once you see my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Are you able to see my screen now?
Not yet.
This maybe.
Okay, can you give him the thing?
Alright, yeah. I'm not a presenter, I think.
Just check.
Yeah, now you can do it. Yes.
Are you able to see now my screen? Hello?
Not yet, not yet. He has made you a co-host. Can you, did you get the green button, share screen?
Yeah, I can click on this. Yeah. Then I select the screen and I share. Can you see now?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Jnana, just a second. While you present, maybe Sri, if you can check out the question by Gupta Poda on the chat and reply to that on the chat directly.
Yes, yes, I will do that. Yes. Thank you.
Go on, Jnana.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. I will just walk you through the treasury functionality, especially in the system demo kind of stuffs. Before I jump into the system demo, just I will quickly cover up the treasury process like Sri was explained or so on so far. See, in treasury so far, we will have there are three major pillars. One is that four major pillars. One is that cash management, which will take care of your cash position and cash flow analyzer and the liquidity forecast, etc. And also it covers the liquidity management as well. And apart from that, the bigger tool or a bigger business process tool which will help to the customer is that payment factory. The payment factory covers the starts from the regular automatic payment process and the connecting of the payment files and the receiving of a bank statement from the bank through the MBC, that multi-bank connector enables. And also while making a payment, how to control your payments, how to monitor your payments, how to approve your payments, how to make an automatic signature for your payments, that is controlled through your bank communication management. So MBC is there to move the files with secured way. It is integrated with the embedded Swift network. And BCM, the bank communication management, will help you to secure and the secure way of approving and managing your payment status, etc. And also there is another tool which comes, that advanced payment management. Sri also talked about that APM. What it will does is there where customer has a multiple payment file format, because of their business nature, they have to operate at a different file format to make the payment process. What this tool will do, it will collect all the payment files from the different system and consolidate it and send to a one common harmonized file back to the bank using that MBC tool. That is called advanced payment management. And also there is another concept or a tool which is innovated part of your SAP S/4HANA Treasury, that is called in-house bank. Earlier in the ERP world, we know that the tool is called in-house cash. Now we enriched with the process called in-house bank. How it is going to help the customer? Wherever customer operating with a multiple corporate, like especially in Europe, Germany, France, Poland, Romania, wherever they want to operate it, there is no need of having a physical bank to be opened. So with that, they can reduce the bank maintenance cost. So using that bank statement interfacing process, IDOC process, the payment files and the receipt files can be processed between the virtual house bank to the main bank account. The payment can be processed. So these are the 4 things covered in that payment factory. When it comes to that treasury and risk management covers one is a major part of the treasury, dealing of the product, the financial product like shares, bonds, debt management, loan management, forex management, etc. is covered part of your treasury, the core treasury. Along with that, it also supports you with the position and exposure management, and it will also help for your hedge management for foreign currency especially. Then coming to the risk management, in a risk management area, we have a operational, we also have the market risk and credit risk and portfolio risk. And how to mitigate the risk, there are analytical tools and like NPV analysis, etc. has been supported by the risk management. And also, that's another concept called a commodity management. Yes, commodity management will provide you full support of how to purchase, how to sell the commodity, and how to manage the risk management. Okay, quickly I'll jump to the next one. Okay, as a part of this demo, I'm going to cover, these are the topics for you in a real system. Okay. And let me know once you see my screen, because I changed the screen. Is it okay? Now, are you able to see?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. As a regular treasurer, in the morning, first hours of a day, when he starts as the first problem comes to the treasury manager is that what is my position, how I'm going to operate, what is my inflow, what is my outflow. For that, SAP has provided SAP S/4HANA Treasury Management provided a solution called cash management. Here you can have this cash by country, the cash position by country, by bank, by currency. There are multiple filter options available, and also the currency wise tabular form also you can see this and based on this position we can decide company wise also you can see based on these positions we can decide where the funds should be allotted. We can make the bank transfer happens through this cash position app. And also apart from that cash position, there is another tool which will help the treasury or a CFO office. What is my cash position on particular in a long run or a day wise? What is my inflow of funds? What is my outflow of funds? Where what are the source of funds, etc. can be seen by way of a days. Like you see here, it will go by the individual days. How this has been built is that each of the transactions, what we post in the operational S/4HANA finance, like accounts payable, accounts receivable, general ledger payment items, and also there are some cash, the memo record. Sometimes the entry might not happen in the system, whereas we need to trigger these things in the system to predict the cash flow forecast. That is called the cash memo request, where we can enter all these cash memo requests, either it's inflow or outflow, those things can be maintained. Then that has been linked with your cash flow analyzer through that cash flow items. Yes, so there may be some questions. Why is it not available in the ERP system? Yes, it was there. There was earlier it was split into multiple tables and different query report needs to build. It has some restrictions also. Now it has been built with a single table, that FQM flow that will support you to build this report very faster manner and efficient manner. So it will help the treasury managers to make a decision successfully based on this cash flow item levels. Then, like I said earlier, if a customer using this BCM, the bank communication management, where they can monitor the payment, where the payment can have a status like this. If it's a new, as and when you created a payment, the batches are created, then it will come into the sit in the batch status. Then if there are payments which are required for approval, then it will go to the approval status. Once it's approved, it will go for approved status. Then The once approved, it will pick by the MBC, it will be sent to the bank, then it goes to bank, send it to bank. Once the bank processed and payment is made, it will go to a completed status. Each of the payment should have a completed status, then only everything is been completed successfully. In between, there is any issue, some issues during your bank statement processing, etc. There may be exceptions raised where we need to fix this and reprocess the bank statement again. So this is for your BCM and monitor payment, etc. The similar way for there is a specific app available for the customer to do the approvals. Whenever approval is required, authorized signature approval is assigned. So the item will be appearing here. Then he can go to the respective line item and approve the payment. That will help for the approval of payments. Also, there are bank statements in every day. Bank at least day by day, we will receive the bank statement. If not a week or monthly, we will receive a bank statement where we can monitor the statement of bank statement. What is the status of this? Whether it is processed for the electronic bank statement process or not. All those things can be monitored with this bank statement process. So with this, what will along with that also there is additional thing comes is that IRPA. Most of the scenarios, like especially on the bank statement process and the payment advice upload, etc., is being supported with the IRPA. The IRPA nothing but automatic processing tool where manual intervention is reduced. System automatically reads the file from the email and upload into the SAP S/4HANA operational systems. So this is for the day-to-day operations of your finance and the cash areas. And also when you go to the treasury, Treasury, it will support for your debt management, fixed deposit management, and also it will support for your foreign currency risk management, loan management, etc. can be monitored. And also for those things, the IFRS 9 requirement also met, and IFRS 17 requirement also met for these areas. So there is a Treasury executive dashboard is built using that SAC tool. A dashboard is built. A treasury manager sitting in his office, he can monitor overall liquidity position. There are different dimensions available for him to see the reports, like a liquidity position. You can see here, you can see the history of liquidity, and also which region, region-wise liquidity can also be seen. Company code-wise also you can see, currency-wise you can see, and financial position group level also you can see. The similar way, there are different dimensions. Cash management also is delivered for him, where he can run the cash management in the SSC reports as a dashboard. Again, there is a multiple dimension and hierarchy level reports can be built using these reports. The similar way for Forex also, the foreign currency management also, there is a overview report available. Here we can see the credit line overview and cash position display by currency, the forward contracts and options book to mitigate your foreign currency risk, etc., has been shown in your single screen, where we can see what is our net exposure required for a foreign currency, also is been shown here. In addition to that, to mitigate the foreign currency risk management, the solution called edge management is delivered that will take care of your inflow exposure and outflow exposure and consider it, and so the system will provide you to create the position or a foreign currency trade request. It will able to create a foreign currency trade request. Through that, you can manage the foreign currency risk mitigation and plan accordingly the risk of the variation in the foreign currency exchange rates. So also, now apart from that, there is another process called there is two important things. One is that exchange rate. Every day, a corporate need to maintain exchange rate. How to automate this? SAP has provided a solution called we can integrate the exchange rate from the external market, like Bloomberg and all the Thomson and Reuters, wherever the financial service institution will provide the rates. Through that, we can integrate with our SAP system. The rate, everyday rate, has been updated automatically through this integration tool that is called market rate management. And also there is another tool delivered part of this called trading platform integrations. Like for your financial tools like a share market and money market, futures and options, etc., can be performed in the third-party system like a 360T and Apex call, Bloomberg and all, that can be integrated with our SAP S4HANA system that can be used for your postings. And a similar way, like for Forex coverage, there is also another tool called interest rate overview also is there, which will provide the what is the interest rate and interest rate behavior, spreads, etc., can be seen in a single screen. As a CFO office, by using these reports, they can make a decision in a quick manner and efficient manner. No need to wait for the information to flow from the multiple lower level organization level. So these are the major advantages which I shown with very high level as an overview reports, which will help for the especially on the CFO office. If you have any specific questions, we can discuss. Over to you, Sri.
Okay, thanks. Is there any particular demo on working capital you could able to show through?
Working capital, right now I don't have.
Yeah, okay, fine, not a problem at all. Okay, I think now the demonstration is over. If you have any questions, specific questions, probably you can able to throw. Otherwise, we are done for this session.
There was a question on the chat by Sri Gupta. Is the bank statement being pushed to SAP through IDOC under H2H? I believe this is for the BCM functionality, if I'm not wrong.
No. Go ahead.
See, the bank statement can be posted to bank two ways. One is that if a customer uses MBC, that will be MBC will push the file automatically from the file store and send to the bank. The same way it will receive from bank and send it to the SAP system for the bank statement processing. Sorry, if customer is not using MBC, then there is an option called OS to OS, where manual pushing is required. The IDOC will not be there.
I have one questions. Can I?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah,
If you have any question, maybe if you can just raise your hand using the reactions button, I can call you out. But you can go ahead, please.
So my name is Hakimuddin. I work for a real estate company. We implemented S4HANA in the year 2017. I wanted to understand whether this treasury management is a separate module for which we need a different licensing, or is it part of the S4HANA product? Financial modules.
Yes, do you want to take this licensing?
Yeah, I will do. Hakimuddin, so this is typically a separate module, separate licensing required. Okay, and it's tightly embedded with the S4 platform. Okay, so you can able to reach out to your account executive. He may able to give you the details of the product and also the licensing requirement for it.
Okay, thank you.
Both cash management and treasury management require separate licenses. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. So, Nano, there's a question on the profit center level view for the invoicing.
Yeah, cash flow management. See, profit center is not a dimension. Either it's by company code, bank, and currency, all the dimensions. Not with that the yellow bill kind of segment like profit center segment, etc. is not supported.
Okay, so Ravi, does it answer your question, Ravi Mohan?
Yeah, got your thing.
Ravi,
Sorry.
you may unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
If you
Am I
are
audible?
so I think you are in room with someone who is also on Zoom.
Yeah,
So
I think we have got it.
the other person should mute in order for us to hear you well. So
Yes, sir. See, for our business model, for a particular invoice, we'll be having billing with multiple business codes. Each business has been handled by a different product owners. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, very much, Ravi. Go on.
Great.
Go on.
So since we have a different business product owners, say for example, we are a distribution industry. So while I'm selling a laptop, so I'll be selling a laptop with an extended warranty for 3 years. The warranty is being handled by a different product owner, and the laptops are being handled by a different product owner. So for both of them, they would like to know what is their business working capital turns they are using, and then what is their product this thing they would like to know. So if I just give only by the invoice, what is the life cycle of that invoice? So they would like to know why by their business, how is being handled and what is the life collectability of this thing. Is there any possibility that this report can be extended at the business level, this profit center or something like that, so that we can be giving them the visibility, what is their business intact to the working capital management?
Okay, yeah, in that case, there are some dimensions available for you. You can filter by bank, filter by cost center, filter by GL account, and also the profit center and liquidity item as well. But only thing is that each line item should carry that particular dimension. Then using that settings, you can select what are the filters available for you. Just I'll show you in the screen.
Yeah, for our industry, profit center, we have made it as a mandatory. Without profit center, no transaction can step in. So if that can be done, it's great. And
possible,
also, yeah, I'm able to see that cost center is there on the thing.
Yeah.
So will profit center also will be part of it?
Yeah. See,
profit. It's there. It's that just I moved to the report level, so it will be here.
Okay, great. So
no, actually, Ravi, one thing which importantly he told, if it is captured at the transaction level, definitely it's possible at the report level. I'm sure since he told that it is based on the profit center level, you are capturing mandatory field, it should be possible.
Yeah. This is I'm looking mainly for the working capital purpose, not more than on the cash flow purpose. Working capital purpose. What is the business working capital utilization? So how much of the organization working capital they have utilized, that we like to see and give them a visibility, so that beyond a point of time we don't allow them to consume more working capital. So we restrict the working capital utilization by business, because each one has some requirements, so that as an organization we need to have some restriction by providing them the working capital availability. So to see that one, we just wanted this one.
See, yeah,
I got that profit center is there available on the screen. So with that also, we'll be able to have this report taken.
Yes, exactly.
Great. Second, for me, is this due? All those things are taken from the standard day for a particular invoice. What is the due date? Is payment terms based on the due date, net due date, or is available? This report has been carved out based on that one, and how is it been populated?
Yeah, it's considered based on the due dates only. That's why you can see overdue.
If we have a noted item posted to this thing, that also will be considered in this thing.
Yeah, the noted item and the cash memos.
Cash memos also can be considered. So if at all I want to have some external information which has not been posted or something like that, so I can take that one, because we have a business model where we make a cash discount payment earlier to the invoice we collect. So that in that way, with the credit cash memo or else a noted item, I can handle that one also.
Yeah. You can enter by a memo, then you can have it in the report. Yes.
Okay.
Ravi, thank you.
Ravi, you are from Reddington, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Anuj, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
First of all, thanks team for the session. This is Anuj Agrawal from Alchem Labs. We are currently on S/4HANA 1709. My question to you is, do we have any analytical Fury apps available in Treasury module?
For what? I could not get that. Can you repeat that? Which Fury app?
I'm asking, do we have any standard Fury apps in Treasury module?
No, there are list of Fury apps available for Treasury. Whatever I shown to you in the demo, all are Furies only.
And those are supported in the 1709 version, right?
Oh, okay. Release wise, yeah, the cash flow and all, it will be supported in the initial version itself. Maybe if you have a list specific to that version, I will share with you through Sri.
Okay. Thank you.
You're already using Treasury module, Anuj?
Yeah, we already have Treasury module.
Okay, got it.
Any other questions from anyone else? You can just raise your hand and I can invite you to ask your questions. I see, Ravi, you still have your hand raised. Do you have any other question? Otherwise, you can actually drop your hand.
Yeah, you can drop off. Sorry.
Anyone else? So I would like to maybe, on behalf of everyone else on the call, of all the different solutions that you showcased, is there anything that comes as part of standard S4 without any additional licenses with them that customers can use right away as we speak?
Basic cash management will come without license, but advanced cash management will go for a license. The remaining all will be MBZ, BCM, and all will be licensed part.
Okay. So another question, maybe, Sri, if you can just elaborate a little bit on Taulia and what functionality does that provide? I know you did mention about it, but you mentioned in passing. Maybe you take a couple of minutes to explain.
The main fundamental reason for SAP to acquire Taulia was to ensure to bring that some supplier financing modules and also to bring that visibility into the cash management positions from different sources. Okay, if you look at just let me know. I'll share my screen again, probably for the sake of.
Can't see your screen yet.
Ravi Mohan here. So I heard from one of my consultant that the cash management database is one exposure is what a database through which this Fiori reports will call out the information. That's why I just asked whether this is part of one exposure.
Yeah, the new cash management works based on the one exposure that is called FKM flow. That a single table cover entire cash management information. Yes.
Yeah, these reports has been part of that one. Call out the values from that report.
Right,
Is
right.
it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
If you're sharing your screen, yeah, now we can see your screen. Sri, you're on mute, so we can't hear you.
Sorry, sorry. I shared and muted. Okay, so the fundamental which why SAP acquired Taulia was on these two topics. Okay, let me. You're able to see my screen, right? I'm not able to press view button.
Yes, we can see your screen, Sri.
Okay, so the fundamental which why SAP acquired was these two areas on the integration between SAP Business Network and the inventory financing. Okay, let me share a small example, use case for the audiences. A Singapore-based, FMCG organization which is into multiple agri-based business. Okay, had to have a lot of tradings to be done from different geographies in different vendors, different banking. So the complexity was coming from multiple banks, multiple vendors, multiple sourcing, multiple warehousing, multiple shipments, etc., etc. So the complexity was becoming day by day. And why Taulia came into picture was to ensure there's three functions of financing based upon the inventory outstanding. They get able to borrow more from the funders. Okay, and this helped a lot in terms of their borrowing capacity, in terms of their day-to-day outstandings, in terms of managing their cash positions. Okay, and see, this one big one, and this gets into a lot of savings for their cash functions itself. Okay, and obviously since it is also they also use the SAP Ariba network as a platform for communication with vendors. It helps the organizations to have a single platform for collaboration with partners. Okay, whereas if you take SAP S4HANA, is more of your transaction-based system where you can able to do pass your treasury transactions, risk management transactions, whereas collaboration with externals for funding, for managing the monitoring the funds. Thalia is a single platform actually.
Thanks so much for that, Sri.
Thank
So
you.
if anyone else has any questions, that will be great. Otherwise, I think we have come to the end of the call.
Maybe Subbu, I just want to answer that Anuj Agarwal question on the Peori report. Yeah, there are app available for 1709 also, especially on that cash flow manager, etc. Anuj, what you can do, just you can go
Thank you
to
so much,
the
Some line
Peori
items,
app.
Thanks.
Yeah, Peori app library and filter by the versions. You can get the role selected as a cash management specialist. You will get the list of app.
Thanks. One more thing, Gyanvi. In case we upgrade it to the latest version, so would those apps would be discarded, or the new apps will be available, or those will work the way it is?
How we work is that whenever most of them will not be deprecated. There are some cases, yes, few apps are got deprecated. For that, we will have a new app. There may be clear message mentioned what is the new solution for the deprecated one. No need to worry about why it is deprecated and all. There definitely there will be a replaced one available for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Surendra. I think you wanted to ask a question. Okay. So I think we have come to the top of the hour again. So I wanted to take the time to thank both the speakers, Sri and Jnana. I want to thank all the people who asked questions to make the session interesting. So until next month when we meet again, thank you so much. Please take care and yeah, take care. Bye.
Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you, Nena.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.